What's good, my peeps? Just want to join the conversation that apparently has been going around in the community about how to gentrify your hood or buy back the block. But what I'm finding is there's a lot of conversation and chatter about it, but there's no talk about action. So I wanted to talk about three action strategies that you can do today to actually commit to buying back your block and gentrifying your hood where you are right now today, starting with what you have and how you can build foundational and generational wealth with where you are and with what you have. So let's get right into it. So, how to buy back your block and gentrify your hood. I'm going to talk about three strategies you can use to buy back your block and gentrify your hood right now today by investing into yourself, which will not only invest into yourself, but you can also invest into um, create foundational and generational wealth once you invest in yourself. But not only will that happen, but you'll also be able to you'll be able to fight poverty through capitalism, which is ingenious. And whoever thought that those two will work together. So the idea here is, if you're a W-2 employee or if you're a sole proprietor, this is work for you. If you're a W-2 employee, um, you only limited to the deductions you can take off the deductions you're offered on your taxes. Before, W-2 employees could not take advantage of writing off expenses to adjust their yearly income to pay less in taxes. So, but now, as of 2017, the new excess business loss limitation rule allows wage earners to offset their income with business expenses or investment expenses. So this is the first strategy you're going to use. You're going to take your W-2 income and create an investment basis that adjusts your yearly income. This is called above the line accounting. You take your income and you offset your income with expenses. When you take your income and spend it on expenses or investment, your income drops. And so what happens is you drop through the tax brackets. Once you drop through the tax brackets, you have a lower tax liability. So you pay less in taxes and you also receive more in deductions. This is why a lot of people receive refunds, because their income allow them to receive the maximum in deductions. So this is called above the line accounting. Take your income and adjust your income, lower your income by investing into investments or business. It should be your own business or any other investment. So that's the first strategy. Start where you are. And additionally, take your dependents from 1 to 9. And once you take your dependents from 1 to 9, you'll receive the maximum amount of or the maximum paycheck that you can receive. So what happens is, if you have your dependents at 0, the government will take out the most amount of taxes they can take out. This is why a lot of people get refunds, because the government take out too much money all year long. So that's it. So change your dependents from 0 to 9, and once you set it to 9, that means every paycheck the government will take out the minimum amount of taxes per paycheck. So now you get a bigger paycheck, and you just basically gave yourself a raise. And you just took over your taxes, and it took your taxes out of the hand of the government. So now you take your dependents from 0 to 9 and you get a bigger paycheck. Now with that bigger paycheck, you take that and you start to invest into yourself, whether it's a business or into other investment vehicles. So, you go from a W-2 wage earner, and now that you know that you could write off investment losses, now you're a tax investing employee. So you're investing your taxes into a tax shelter that allows you to offset your income with expenses. And the rule you're looking at, like I say, is the EBL, the Excess Business Loss Limitation Rule. It allows you to risk your wages with investments. It allows the W-2 wage earner to risk their wages with investments. So that's how you start today, by investing into yourself. You invest into yourself, change your dependents from 0 to 9, you get more per paycheck, And also, you start a business. So the wages that you take today, you can invest into your business to adjust your income to pay less in taxes. Now that you're a tax investing employee, you want to take your investment basis and start to invest into an opportunity zone, which is everywhere in the country. Opportunity zones are there are 8,700 opportunity zones, making up 12% of the U.S. and its surrounding territories. Opportunity zones have been in Puerto Rico for quite some time, and investors have been there rebuilding the community for over a year now with this strategy. It's a very I don't want it's a very tax incentive based strategy for investors. It allows investors to invest their equity into investment, and they can shelf their investment for a number of years. I'll say it's 10 years. So you can invest into an opportunity zone with your investment over 10 years. And whatever you make on that investment after 10 years, you get to keep. So say you invest $1 million into a business or a building, and the building goes up to $1.8 million after 10 years. You get to keep that $800,000 untaxed. After 10 years, you could take it out. So now you got $1.8 million untaxed after 10 years. There's an additional bonus that allows you to keep it another 10 years. You make over that 10 years, which is a total of 20 years, you get to also keep that capital gains. So your $1 million investment, your $1 million basis that you invested into this opportunity zone with could go up to $2.5 million after 20 years, and you get to keep that $1.5 million capital gains untaxed. It's a brilliant way to invest, and also it's a brilliant way to fight poverty through capitalism. So that's an opportunity zone. 8,700 zones make up 12% of the U.S. country, and 25% of low-income neighborhoods qualify as opportunity zone, and also 5% of non-low-income neighborhoods qualify as opportunity zones. Typically, the census tract for opportunity zone consists of the poverty rate being about 20% or lower. And also, the census tract considered 57% of the U.S. as opportunity zones. So there's quite a few distressed communities in the U.S. territories. Um, so that'll be the second strategy. You take your investing wages and you invest into your community where you are, your opportunity zones. And so now you're capitalizing your community where you are. You're helping businesses grow, and you're also creating foundational and generational wealth with your own income in your neighborhood. So, I hope you can see how this is all starting to work together. And maybe you might, maybe I'll make another video on opportunity zones. But the strategy is take your wages, invest into real estate, and create foundational generational wealth. And this is how you gentrify your hood and buy back the block with action right now today. So so now you done use the strategy of investing your income, and you're investing into opportunity zones, which is your community. Also, you can invest anywhere in the U.S. territories that have opportunity zones. So you can not only help your neighbor, but you can help your neighbor in any U.S. territory. So Guam, Puerto Rico, wherever that there's an opportunity zone, you can invest there with your income and then help any community that's at the 20% poverty rate, increase uh, their net worth. You're able to invest into your neighbors because within these opportunity zones are also opportunity zone funds. This is another vehicle that you can use to invest into an opportunity zone. It allows you to basically invest your equity into a fund and let the fund do the work of investing the money over years under the same tax advantages of keeping your money in that fund for 10, 20 years, and you're able to keep the capital gains on the property. The biggest advantage of investing into for an investor that's investing into an opportunity zone is the fact that there's $6 trillion of unrealized gains tax incentive program. So, if you are investing into your hood, if you invest into opportunity zones, you're taking part of a $6 trillion advantage. Or so the last strategy I want to try to share with you is achieve accredited investor status. So, achieving accredited investor status. An accredited investor is a single individual that makes $200,000 a year for 2+ years, and he does that consistently. Or it's a married couple that makes $300,000 a year for 2+ years consistently. Or you have a net worth of $1 million without your home. So without your home, you're worth $1 million. So accredited investor, 200,000 a year for a single, 300,000 for a couple, or net worth of $1 million. Okay. So you want to achieve accredited investor status because it allows you to have access to riskier investment vehicles. The biggest thing going on right now is in real estate is called syndication. So multifamily investors, investors create these multifamily portfolios that only accredited investors can invest to with huge lump sums of money. And it's great because it allows the accredited investor to offset their income. Once you learn this strategy of above the line accounting, it's a great way to build wealth. So just to recap, I try to make it short. Invest your income, offset your expenses by offset your income by investing with investing expenses. Invest in business, invest in real estate. Invest in your neighborhood and opportunity zones. With your income, you create foundational and generational wealth when you invest in opportunity zones. Last but not least, the ladder of success is to achieve accredited investor status. So you want to achieve making $200,000 a year as a single person for 2+ years, or $300,000 if you're married, or you want to achieve a net worth of $1 million without a house. So right now today, this is the action steps. Take your W-2 and commit action. Gentrify your hood, buy back the block. Maybe I'll make another video about this. Peace.